Welcome to the Built to Scale series Outside Marketing, bringing you quick, actionable episodes to help move your business forward. Here's your host, Craig Severinson.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 39 of Outside Marketing, the show where we talk about how you can build a thriving business without sacrificing your personal life. I, of course, am Craig Severinson, and today we're talking about how I'm making my website more ROI positive. What are the steps I'm taking? This is something that's on my mind. I have been working on it this week. And of course, if you're enjoying this content, make sure you check out builttoscalehq.com. Now, what's really interesting is I've been working on my website, but I haven't been working on the Built to Scale website. I've been working on the brightworkstraining.com website. And the reason why is because I can get in easily and adjust the Brightworks training one. I need help with the Built to Scale stuff. I could do it, but I'm not as versed in the way that one was built, and so it looks fantastic. I've got a great brand strategist named Megan Vaughn from Prolific Banana, and I'm going to let her mess with that one once I get done tinkering and fixing the Brightworks training one. So let's dive into that and why I'm making these changes, and kind of I'll just share with you what I'm doing. Right. So number one, why? In the past, I've really focused on my website as just like a checkbox, right? Just something that's there. Because I get most of my leads and most of my clients either through social media, content like webinars, or through referrals, right? So I don't get very many clients that are just like showing up at my website. And I'm looking at my website the other day, I'm thinking about this, right? And I'm thinking about, oh man, like website, what am I even going to do with this? And I realized, maybe because I was looking at the traffic to my website, and I get quite a bit of traffic going to the site. And I was like, maybe the reason why, I mean, this is like a no duh moment, right? Maybe the reason why I don't get as much lead gen from it is because the whole thing is not set up for lead gen. I've discounted it, and I haven't really leaned into it at all. And as I got thinking about that, I realized, man, if I want to diversify my lead gen, which is one of my goals, is I want to make sure that I'm getting leads from different areas, right? Not just one or two main platforms. If I want to diversify that, the website needs to be a hub. It needs to be a well converting, well oiled machine in order to do things like run Google ads or run Facebook ads or do webinars that lead to the website, or to do, go to networking events, offline stuff. But yeah, especially with digital marketing, it's got to be the hub where people can come to and take action. And so I decided to myself that I needed to do something with this website. The other reason is ownership, right? In the news right now, we've got Elon Musk that's buying Twitter. Facebook is really setting themselves up for major, major changes, and people are getting banned from their ads accounts, even when they're not active with their ads. Like LinkedIn's automation and customer service around ads is not great. I'm sorry, Facebook. Did I say LinkedIn? I meant Facebook. Their customer service around this is not great. And so, with social media, where I've built most of my lead gen, um, can change at any moment, and I've known that. But it really just hit me this week that, man, if things change drastically across the board, where would I be? I've got my email list, but is that enough, right? So ownership of a place that you can be like, hey, you know what? YouTube ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, social media, all your digital, footprint leads back to your website. Suddenly, it just hit me as how important this could be, right? And don't get me wrong, it's worked the way that I've used it in the past. It's been working, right? I think of this as just, next evolution, next step for me. It's a growth edge for me, and it's time to take that step forward, right? So what I'm doing is trying to really focus on ROI, like making sure that my website is pulling its weight. Like when I do um, social media or email or a webinar, I expect certain results from those activities, right? Like I don't do a webinar thinking, oh, I hope nothing happens. Fingers crossed. It's like, no, I know that if I get people into a webinar and I have a compelling presentation and a great offer, that leads to sales, right? And I wanted my web page to have a very similar feel to it. So like I really went from, this was the mindset shift that I kind of went through with the website, is from a informational brochure to a giant call to action, right? And I think this really plays right into my philosophy of value is created in action. Value is created when you decide to do something and you start doing it, right? So in the case of people who are exploring working with me, where's the value created? The value is created in the inspiration, the motivation, the invitation to make a purchase, because when they purchase, then we can start doing the work to transform their business, attract more clients than they know what to do with, and get their business to run without them. Man, that moment when they can go on a vacation and the business does not suffer is great. Like that's what we work towards, right? But none of that can happen if they don't first make a purchase. So being really ROI focused in terms of like either list building or actually making an invitation to purchase. And as I got into this and as I was thinking about it, it's interesting building a website with that point of view, because instinctively when you do marketing, what sort of ask you can make, right? Like if I'm going to go talk to somebody that I haven't really talked to before, I can't ask them to purchase, right? I can't do that. It won't work. But I could ask them to raise their hand. I could ask them to read something. I could give them something for free, right? That would work. If I have been talking to somebody for a while, they come to my webinar, they've sat through a presentation. Those people I can make an offer to, and they're probably going to purchase, right? When you have a website, you've got a bunch of different people at a bunch of different levels coming to the website. And so the way that I've really approached this is making sure that there's really clear call to actions with different things that appeal to the different levels of where they're at in relationship with me, so that when you come, there's a really clear, oh, this is for me. This is what I should do. Click, 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 and really try to either list build or invite people to take the next step. I think that by having this ROI focus, I'm going to see a big shift in my web page, and I hope to report back to you and say, hey, this is what we've done with it. I don't expect to hit it out of the park the first time. What marketing tactic do you do that it's like, oh man, it's perfect now? So I understand that this is a process, not an event, that I'm going to have to reiterate and I'm going to have to shift. I'm going to have to tweak. And this is honestly just the next tweak in what has already been tweaked for a long time, right? Like this is the next step. But we had a little plane flying overhead. But as you do that, let's compare your website to any other type of marketing. I've been talking about webinars. It's the same thing. You don't do a webinar or a masterclass and expect today I'm going to make $1 million the first time I do this. No, you make $1 million by showing up and doing that masterclass or webinar time after time after time, month after month, week after week. Like you do it enough, you get into the rhythm, you get the perfection until suddenly everything's working right, and it is now making you the $1 million, right? Maybe not even in one webinar or one masterclass, but over time, the consistency is what gets you there, right? So it's the same thing with my website. Like I understand this is the next version of what I've got going on. I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna tweak it, and then I'm gonna go to the next version. I'm gonna keep going to that next version, and every time I do that, it's gonna get better and better and better and better. That's how I approach all of my marketing. You have to. If you get paralyzed by perfection, you're not going to get anywhere. You have got to take that viewpoint of this is just the current version of whatever it is. Because as soon as you push publish on that website, it's out of date. It's out of date, right? So you've got to just make sure that you are constantly in the mindset of fast, focused, imperfect action is a lot better than perfection, because perfection never comes. It keeps you stuck. All right, that's not where I expected this conversation to go, but that's where it went. So let me know your comments. What are you doing? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Like, is fast, focused, imperfect action the way to go, or is perfection the way to go? What's your preference? How do you handle this? And until next time, I'm going to go finish up my workout. See you guys.
Thanks for joining us. To check out all the Built to Scale episodes and to see how Craig can help you in your business, go to builttoscalehq.com.